as you like, but it's not a requirement for making spiritual advancement. And I didn't get to it in this paper, but the making spiritual advancement is based on how many other jivas are you delivering, not how many people can crowd into a room and shut the doors so that the karmis can't see what you're doing. That's not the process. Every town and village doesn't mean wherever you go, whomever you meet, simply speak of Krishna is the requirement, not wherever you go, whomever you meet, hide out until you get back to your temple and then chant Hare Krishna.
All right, so let's get going, Prabhu. This is the title named Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and ISKCON will exist as they are in 10,000 years. Okay, Rupa Manjari, Prabhu, you ready to read?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, fact. Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he exists eternally unaffected by the temporary material existence of time and space. Fact. Srila Prabhupada as Krishna's transparent via medium, the Uttama Adhikari, and who eternally resides in Krishna Loka, also exists eternally and cannot be affected by the temporary material existence of time and space. Fact. ISKCON Inc. has been manifested by Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, and for that reason cannot be affected by the temporary material existence of time and space. Fact. ISKCON in 1966, the direction of management created by Lord Krishna via his transparent via medium Srila Prabhupada cannot be considered to be affected by the passage of time. Since the passage of time does not exist in Krishna Loka, but only exists in the relative material world, there is no doubt that Krishna and Srila Prabhupada will fully exist in the present tense throughout the entire duration of the golden age of Kali. For this reason, the entire criminal disruption of the spiritual relationship with Srila Prabhupada by the GBC in 1970 can be seen as a metastasized cancerous tumor that has carefully and deliberately removed accessibility to Srila Prabhupada. The GBC invented an illegal and atheistic perversion of Srila Prabhupada's direct written orders for the management of Lord Chaitanya's transfer of his gift of the Hare Krishna mantra to the living entities inhabiting planet Earth for the next 10,000 years, and instead created an illicit vehicle for their obtaining money and power. They stole sacred ISKCON from Srila Prabhupada and Krishna and created their own illicit operatic material organization starting in 1970 and still presently existing 52 years to date. In the 7 years between 1970 and 77, the criminal GBC not only stole ISKCON, but in 77 murdered Lord Krishna's transparent via medium Srila Prabhupada. We have been living in the dark shadow of that criminal takeover, ending in the horrific murder of he who is still destined to deliver the living beings on planet Earth for the next 10,000 years. Fact. 5,000 years from now, Krishna will still exist in Krishna Loka. Fact. 5,000 years. Fact. 5,000 years from now, Srila Prabhupada will still exist like a geode in the center of ISKCON. Fact. 5,000 years from now, ISKCON will exist by name as the absolute and eternal refuge for the living beings who wish to join us due to hearing the pure sound vibration of Srila Prabhupada's chanting, his Krishna Loka melodies, his kartal style of playing, his aditala mridanga beat, and his chakra empowering dance step known as the Swami step. Fact. What will no longer exist after a few short years from now is the bloated, illicit, unelected, cancerous GBC. They will have been voted off the island. Once the metaverse has been fully saturated with descriptions of the endless crimes of the GBC and their unauthorized guru initiators, the perverted crimes against guru coolies, the homosexual excesses of the supposedly July 9th Ritvik gurus, and the following two major crimes. Crime number 1. Each ISKCON temple was created by Lord Krishna to be independently incorporated as ISKCON Inc. This means that there would be no possibility of a centralized corporate ISKCON controlling any one of the independent temples. Crime number 2, an elected GBC was to be based on 12 members elected by vote and by participating temple presidents for 3-year terms. These GBC would empower the various temple presidents for renewable 3-year stints and make ISKCON essentially into a representative republic resembling us, US Senate and senators. ISKCON was never to be a global corporation. ISKCON temples were never to be under the control of the GBC. In this way, ISKCON could have grown exponentially over the last 52 years and have prevented such wars as Afghanistan, Iraq, and now the Ukraine. These unelected GBC have practically made ISKCON impotent to deliver the fallen souls in our presently extremely trying times. They can be fully exposed, discredited, and distanced from ISKCON within the next 3 years.
Okay, so we have done reading it. So let me stop the recording and we'll start the discussion. 1 second.